All right, guys, if you are thinking of a move to Highlands Ranch, we got you covered. Today, we are going to go over the pros and cons, everything you need to know before you make the move, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today, we are going pros and cons of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe and share this with somebody you think is going to make a move to Denver. I would love to help them on their move here. But let's get right into the content here. Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Where is it? Why is it a popular spot to live? And what might be the downsides of moving here? So Highlands Ranch on the south end of the Denver metro area, just under the C470 loop. On the map here, we can see that Highlands Ranch is a huge master plan community. Now, this is technically not a city. It is not incorporated. So Highlands Ranch is just a giant master plan community of different subdivisions, each run by separate HOAs. Now, if you are in Highlands Ranch, you will belong to an HOA. There are a couple of master HOAs for the Highlands Ranch community. These do offer a series of different rec centers that you can use at your enjoyment and summertime pools. So it makes it a great option for families, which is pro number one. Is Highlands Ranch is a very family-friendly community and great place to raise a family. Now, if you've heard about Highlands Ranch, you've probably seen maybe different memes about it, and if you live in Denver, that it is the quintessential suburbia type of community, and it is very true. Much of the community will be very standardized, very identical. There's not going to be a lot of variation in the home styles. There's not going to be a lot of variation in the colors, and you're going to get a very cookie cutter standardized community, which a lot of people actually love. So don't let that turn you away. You're going to have a lot of consistency throughout all of the neighborhoods. Now, that's not to say that there isn't some differentiation from different places, and there are actually quite a few higher end type of spots within Highlands Ranch that you'll want to check out here as well. So don't let the cookie cutter standardized description of Highlands Ranch scare you away. So pro number one, great place for families. You have all those rec centers, 4 different rec centers to choose from that are part of your Highlands Ranch Association dues. And there's also a myriad and miles of trails to explore in the Highlands Ranch community. So you do have a lot of outdoor activities, walking trails, hiking trails, biking trails, views of the Front Range. Highlands Ranch is a nice location and very family friendly. Now, con, we kind of mentioned it, is that it's very uniformed and conformed. There's not a lot of variety in the home style. Your home is going to look a lot like your neighbor's home. There's not going to be a lot of opportunity to differentiate yourself from your neighbor's home in the community. So their HOA is fairly stringent on what you can do in these different communities around Highlands Ranch. Now, another con to this is some communities in Highlands Ranch actually have multiple HOAs. It's more common to find here than many of the other suburban areas around Denver. So you may belong to the standard Highlands Ranch Association, but you may have another subsidiary HOA that you belong to that is specifically for your neighborhood. So that can come with some added costs, and it can also come with some added restrictions on what you can do to your home. But if you're a regular, reasonable person and you're not afraid of following the color scheme when it comes to paint and having a roof that looks similar to all your neighbors, it really does make a big difference for a lot of people. And the benefits of having an HOA that manages and makes sure that the neighborhood is in good upkeep and good order is a benefit to a lot of people and outweighs the downside. So depending on how you feel about HOAs, if you are 100% anti-HOA, you don't want anything to do with it, Highlands Ranch should probably be off your radar, and you should look in more of a community like Littleton or Centennial. But if you are okay with the different HOAs and some of the different restrictions that they may have on things that people can do on their property, then Highlands Ranch could be a great option for you. Pro number two, great job opportunities in the Highlands Ranch area. And I will say, even though housing prices have gone up a lot, you have a little bit lower cost of living here for a couple of reasons. So first off, Highlands Ranch has never been incorporated. It's not a city, so you don't have a municipal police department or a city fire department. They run from the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and the South Metro Fire District. So there is that savings there. You do pay into those communities for that service and support, but you don't have the added city tax that some places have, like a Littleton or Denver or Aurora. So you do have a little bit of relief in the cost of living there. Now, home prices in the Highlands Ranch area. If you're looking for a single family home, you're going to be looking in the 600 and up range for the most part. There are a few options in a couple of different pockets around Highlands Ranch where you can find something for around $500,000, or a duplex maybe where you have one shared wall that'll be in that $500,000 range. But for most single-family homes with a private yard and shared no walls with any neighbors, you're going to be looking in that $600,000 range and up from there. Now, we do have some very exclusive neighborhoods here in Highlands Ranch, whether that is the backcountry that is well known for having some larger spaces and it's very exclusive gated community. You're going to be looking in the $1 million and up range in that particular area. But there are different pockets where you can find a more affordable housing options. And if you are open to a multifamily or condo option, those are generally starting in the $400,000 range in Highlands Ranch as well. All right, another pro to Highlands Ranch is great school district. It is within the Douglas County School District, which is very highly rated, and there are a lot of different options around for your elementary, middle, and high school. So a lot of positive feedback that we've heard from residents that have kids that go to that school. Good school districts, and I know as a father that is important to a lot of families moving to the areas. They want to know which school districts are good, and Douglas County does come very highly rated. Again, make sure you reach out to me so we can go over these things more in depth. I don't want to paint everything with such a broad brush, and I want to give you guys the most valuable information possible. So it is important to sit down with a realtor and go over some of those things in person so that we can really identify which schools that your kids will be attending and if those are good school district fits for you and your. Okay, con number 2, lack of public transportation in Highlands Ranch. So Highlands Ranch is going to be very car dependent, so be prepared for that when you move. A lot of Denver is actually very car dependent, so don't let that particularly scare you away. But Highlands Ranch does not have a light rail system. The light rail actually ends in Littleton and Centennial. There are a couple trains that go a little bit further south, but none of them go and end up in the Highlands Ranch area. Now, RTD, our bus system, does service Highlands Ranch, so you can jump on buses there, but it is a little bit sporadic, and times don't always line up with the schedule. So Highlands Ranch, if you're going to live there, it is car dependent. I would recommend having a vehicle there so you can get around and make your commute. Now, it is conveniently located on that south end of Denver, so if you are commuting up into Denver, it is fairly easy to get up into that area. But it is a bit of a ways from the airport. You're probably looking at a 35 to 45 minute commute out to the airport. That is going to be fairly standard with most of the places around the Denver metro area. Years ago, they decided to move the airport way out to the east of Denver so that people would not have to deal with the airport noise and the flyover traffic. What that did was actually just make it inconvenient for everyone who needs to use the airport. And people have started building and moving closer to the airport. So probably doesn't solve any of the air traffic or noise complaints that had happened, but you will be looking at a little bit longer of a commute in Highlands Ranch than a few of the other communities around Denver. Okay, so another pro to living in Highlands Ranch is there are a lot of dining and shopping options available to you. So a lot more are actually even still moving into this day into the Highlands Ranch community. So you do have plenty of different of your standard chain restaurants and shops like your Targets and Walmarts and Home Depots and Lowe's that you can shop at, but there are some more unique options available to you as well. A con to that, and this may not be a con, it's probably not a con for most people that are actually exploring the move to Highlands Ranch, but there's not going to be a lot of nightlife or bar scenes kind of around this since it is more of a bedroom community and a neighborhood feel. Yes, you're going to have plenty of taverns, wine bars, and different bars to go and check out, eat, and drink at. But as far as nightlife is concerned, that's more reserved for a lot of the downtown area and some parts of Aurora. So there's not going to be a huge nightlife scene in the Highlands Ranch community. It is more of geared towards families and geared towards people want a little bit quieter suburban lifestyle. So probably not a con if you're already exploring Highlands Ranch, but something to be aware of before you make your move here. And the final pro that I'll leave you with for Highlands Ranch is it is a very friendly community. I know that is important for a lot of people moving here, is they want to live in a place where they can make friends easily and get to know people and get out and do different things within their neighborhoods and within their community. So we just got about a foot of snow here in the Denver metro area, and that is why I'm filming this in studio and just giving you some shots here and there of some of the community that I have toured in in just the past couple of months. But it's not uncommon for you to get out when you have some of those 1 foot snowstorms here in the early and even middle of spring, and neighbors get out and help their neighbors dig out, and someone with a snowblower gets out and helps the other neighbors clear their sidewalks and driveways. So it is a very friendly community. You will feel welcomed here when you move to the Highlands Ranch area. So make sure you take the time to explore it. Again, hit me up at the information on the screen. I would love to help you with your move to Colorado, or whether you already live in Colorado and you've just been exploring a few different options, whether that's moving from the north end to the south end or vice versa. I would love to help you out. Days, nights, and weekends, call, text, or email, and we will take care of you and make sure you have a successful move in and around Colorado.